Palladio said how fine and pleasant it is to build by a stream of water. One of our grandsons just loves to catch minnows and crawfish. He gets out of the car and makes a dash for the creek. It's just wonderful to see. And just sitting here on the porch and hearing the gurgle of the water is just real calming. It's 176 acres. Probably about 50 to 55 acres are open and in pasture. The rest is woodland. That farm is interesting because it brings to my mind a house that my son and I visited in the little village of Ashley, Wiltshire, in England. The original place was built in 1898, and a guy named Joel Bowes, he had been born in 1833, had been in the Civil War, and he married a much younger woman named Della and built this place on the banks of Yellow Creek. All of this was added in '85, and then we renovated it in 2007. Sort of three stages, 1898, 1985, and then 2007. This was our study. This right here was where there was a wood stove, and all of this poplar wood was cut on this place. So the beams in the kitchen were all cut on this place by Carney Clark. They represent the wood that he has cut on this place over the years. He and his mule and his side-loading truck. I mean, he talked to the mule. He'd tell the mule, go get that log. The inspiration for what we're going into now is the Italian architect Andreas Palladio. So this is the terrace. The landscaping was done by Grow Wild. They came up with was having these columnar sweet gums because they look like the cypress in Italy. This is our bedroom. It faces due east, so when the sun comes up, we get up. The shade is just right about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Sit here and have a drink and watch the cattle. Susan insisted on the whole house be handicap accessible. And so it's all one level except for the upstairs. It's a farm operation, but you go through this layout of farm buildings. The oldest building there probably is the barn at the far end. We have a picture of that in 1912. Just 3 years ago, it was obvious it needed a roof. Then we decided, by God, any building that's lasted 100 years deserves a new roof. We added that basketball court for grandchildren. We've got about 1/3 of a mile here on Yellow Creek. You know, there's some holes in different places. Our grandkids have found some holes down the creek. People enjoy floating and fishing in Yellow Creek, and it's just the right size. Several years we kept guest books, and one year Susan counted 269 visitors. Every weekend there was someone here. It provided a nice break for us from our work in Nashville. We bought it before our kids were born, so our kids grew up here. So meaningful to be a part of this community. Susan has won a blue ribbon at the county fair for her bread and has exhibited her art at the crafts fair. That really feels good, the connections we have here. And I'm proud of it. You know, every time I look around here. I mean, we look at the pictures of the old place and the way things were, and now we've sort of made our little mark here too.